Hello, everyone. My name is Gus.
Hi, I'm Woody.
And today we have footage from this past weekend. I went diving with Benjamin.
Right, you know what I did?
Not dive with us. That's what you did.
I stayed home and worked on our software platform for 2 days straight,
Right.
which will enable us to roll out classes worldwide so that we could both enjoy diving while I'm, funding your diving.
Thank you. So
Yeah,
while
yeah.
you were here playing Steve Jobs,
That's it. Just
I was
that's
out.
it?
Thank you.
okay. Wow.
I was
I
out
felt so real.
doing some diving with Benjamin. And I want to show you the footage. I don't think
No.
you're going to be jealous about this or anything. I mean, it's not something you've never done. But, I just figured. People want to see it anyway.
No, I mean,
So
I'm
might
good
as well
to-
get your thoughts
Yeah,
on
I'm good to work on the Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays when you're diving.
Thank you.
I'm not jealous.
Thank you for your service. Before I show the dive though.
I'm just kidding. I do joke around with it, but I'm happy you got to do this. Now I want to do it.
Look.
I'm going to want to do it.
Yeah, so before I show
All
the
kidding
dive,
aside.
the actual dive, which was at Rocky Horror Show, which is a legendary cave route. Something was in my bucket list, and we actually reacted.
I have heard about it for a while.
Benjamin had tried it before once, but the route is so tight that only one group of divers can go at once. So, like, if you get there and you get too late or whatever, and somebody's going through it, that's it. You
You're
have
done.
to wait until they're,
Okay. Two at a time only?
Well, it's two or three or whatever. It's just one team.
Okay.
So you can have 3-4 people go at once, but it's to have a smaller team. Is
Madison Blue?
and Madison Blue, yeah. So anyway, but before I do that, I recorded some video with Benjamin, which I thought it would be interesting.
Okay.
And this video is pretty short, but it aims to answer the question that we get all the time, which is people always ask, if losing the guideline it's so important. Like if losing the guideline is so dangerous that if you can't find it, you will literally drown and die. Why don't you tether yourself to the line? Like, why
You're
are
going to
you
be hung up in like 50 feet. Maybe you go 100.
Why would you even
100
risk
would
it?
be amazing. I don't know what you did, but if you went 100 feet tethered
Tether.
to that guideline, I would actually be impressed.
So let's comment on it, because I tether
100.
three scenarios I'm doing with a tether. One is just diving, just regular swimming into the cave, nothing special. Okay. Scenario number 2 is doing a jump. So what would making a jump look like if you're tethered to the main line?
A disaster.
Okay.
That's what I would tell you.
And the third one is, what about a diver coming out, you going in, and you're both tethered?
It's a disaster.
Well, let's see. So here's the footage. So here I am. I tether myself to the line because I don't want to lose it.
What's wrong with your hand?
Well, that's okay.
It's
So
already a messed up mess.
Well, it's just behind,
Immediately.
because at Madison Blue is a lot of flow. So there's that to deal with. Like flow.
with the tether.
Right, with a tether. So you're tethered to the line, and I'm diving in the flow.
You know that part right now?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be like, it makes a lot of sense until bam. And that's why I said, if you made it 100 feet, I would be shocked. Do you see what's going on there? Line is not just like a clear line all the way through.
Right.
Not to mention arrows or jump markers. All of those
Or
are going to get in the way.
sticks.
Or sticks.
Or-
What if the line is down and buried under sand?
Here we go. All right, so I made it past the first obstacle.
Now, by the way,
So I
viewers
should-
may say, here, well, that's no big deal. You just unclip it and reclip it.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah, and so you are able to enjoy the cave for all of
12
5 seconds.
12. And boom, done.
It's insane, right?
And I think if you were lights out, right? And imagine lights out, right? Is it easier to clip and reclip like
Look
that?
at this. I just hit an arrow.
No, but
so I
let me
had to-
finish. Is it easier to clip and unclip or just have your hand on the line?
Right.
If you have lights out.
Right. Okay, so that was scenario number 1. We already saw the problem. So now I'm going to make a jump. Okay? So here I am diving, tethered to the
Tank trim's
line.
good.
Thank you. Tethered to the line. By the way, I made this 100% for real. Like, I'm not making everything harder on purpose or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to make a jump. Like, if I'm going to make a jump, I just happen to be tethered. Right? Okay, so I pull my spool, but I'm holding the other line. All right, so let's see how this goes.
So, wow. So both lines are going to unravel while you're making the jump?
Well,
I mean,
we'll see. All right, so here's the spool. All right, so okay, so that's set. But then I have this other line. So what do I do with that line? Where do I hook it to? I guess, okay, but now it's locked because, you know, safety. So I guess the jump line? I guess so. I mean, where else?
I guess.
And I have to lock it because it's safety. You know.
So then you're going to unclip it and clip it to the new line that you jump to.
I guess
would
so.
be the logic.
Right. So here I go. Okay. So I'm gonna swim, and you can see my tether is on my jump line.
Not bad. I mean, I've never seen this before. It's funny.
Seems redundant, I feel like, but here I am.
That's not good. Not a good situation there. See, because you have to bury your jump line. You can't just have you have to put your jump line under a rock typically for a long way, so it doesn't tangle up.
You want to keep it low so people swimming by are
so
not.
it doesn't tangle into it.
Yeah, beheaded.
But
by
you're
it.
stuck right now. Your jump line, your tether. I don't even know what to call it. Your leash. Do you know at this point that's stuck back there?
I have no idea.
That's hilarious.
I have no. I just
So
think
you're
it's
just
flow.
like- Oh, that's
I
so-
feel like, man, flow is not letting me move. But I'm just stuck in my own line. All right, so I'm gonna finish this jump here.
Maybe it was stabilizing for you. You're like, wow,
Like a
something's
tripod?
holding me back
I
nicely.
just discovered something new. All right, so
Look at
there's
you
my
kicking.
line.
You're just having to kick and kick.
Well, because there's flow.
you're like,
man.
no wonder.
Damn it.
All right.
All right,
made the
so
jump.
undo it. Hold on.
You do well with no lights on this. That's the next one to try. We'll try
didn't
that
try
one.
lights
We'll
on.
try
All
lights
right,
on.
all right, and then
I'm gonna be the
then
light
back-
out guinea
okay,
pig.
all right, good. Now let's go explore. All right, so here's the third scenario. So here's Benjamin. Now he's being pushed by the flow, and I'm going against flow, and I'm like, okay, dude, I'm tether, and you're tether. So what do you think is gonna happen?
Whoa. And boom. This is ridiculous.
He's taking me with him,
No, this is
But
a
he-
disaster.
but he can't stop because of the flow.
This is a really good video, actually.
now
I'm not
listen.
kidding you. This is a really interesting video.
Now imagine if there were 3 going in, 3 going out, all tethered.
Lights out. That's what I
Out.
want to see.
And sharing air. What?
It's a mess.
Might as well die. So anyway, so I quit. After that, I
Yeah,
forget it. This is ridiculous.
It's really good, though. Actually, that's
Right.
really a good video that you did. Some people are going to comment that they're going to say, I guarantee you, looking at this, that looks safer to them, even with the unclipping and reclipping, than not being clipped.
I'd rather not dive.
I know, but they are going to say that. So what is your response to why is that not true? Why is it not safer, even though you had to clip? It's a pain. You stop, then you have to reclip, but you're still on a line.
Yeah, I mean,
This would be their point.
if
Why
there's
is
an
it?
emergency, like I get it. If you're going in and you're on a rebreather and you have all the time in the world, you can unclip and reclip and unclip and reclip, and you can do that all day. But if you have an emergency where you have to get out, what are you going to be doing? Like clipping and unclipping and then run out of air and die?
Yes. And what I was going to, so that's one reason. But the bigger one, everybody, is
Entanglement.
entanglement.
Yeah.
I promise you, 'cause I'm going to do it now. I want to do the next one of these.
Okay.
Blindfolded. And I'm not the best line guy.
You're gonna die.
Line work is hard for me. I admit it. I have to practice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be tangled.
Dude, you're going to die.
I'm going to be blindfolded, and I'm going to be like, I don't know. This is tangled now. So now you're forget about the normal entanglement and the normal hazards of being blindfolded. But when you're clipped to the line with that thing, you can create a mess. And I promise you, it's easy to say you won't panic. Then you
Right.
start floundering and panicking.
Right.
With that line,
Yeah.
you're wrapped up in line.
Yeah, no. It's
So
it's
that's
ridiculous.
why I don't think it makes sense.
And what if your tether gets hooked in a place where the main cave line was weak to begin with, and now you snap it? Now you don't have a guideline because you broke it with your dumb tether.
And we're not
It's
the
on and
only,
on
by
and
the
on.
way, there's been many very expert cave divers before us.
Of course.
They're not tethering. Do you think they thought about this?
But
it's my point. Like, we're not the first to think about this.
Right. I mean, and you learn during cave diving class, and you get better at it later, about line awareness, where you know where the line is at any given time, wherever you are. It's part of the class. Your brain is keeping track of the line, or it's on the bottom left, it's on the top left. You're keeping track of where the line is at all times. But at the same time, if you're so concerned about losing the line, then okay the line the whole dive with your hand. Okay it on the way in, okay it on the way out. Use your hand. If that is such a big concern, don't use a tether. Just don't. Say no to tether.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're going to tether somebody else. That's a whole nother issue. Somebody else is going to get tangled in your leash.
Next thing you know,
they're in your leash.
What is this resistance? Somebody decapitated because of your tether. No.
How about DPV people flying by with your leash?
It's ridiculous.
There's nothing good about it that I saw in that video.
Nothing good. So anyway, we get to Rocky Horror, which is 1,200 feet into Madison Blue. So you're swimming against current for 1,200 feet. So by the time you get there, you're like, thank God. Like, I'm exhausted. Let's do it. Because they don't allow DPVs at Madison.
Yeah, that's a long way.
So heavy flow, swimming in. Oh, and you're carrying stages because we have to stage bottles.
Yeah.
But anyway, you finally get there, and this is what it looks like. So by this point, we had dropped our stage. I was staging on 80, aluminum 80.
Okay.
So, all right. So there's a sign. I already dropped my cookie, as you can see, but there's a sign, and we can read the sign in a second. But it basically says this passage is too small for 2 teams to go in at once. If there's a team inside, you are not allowed to go in. That's basically what it says. You can read it there.
Pretty cool.
And then there's this black thing where you say if there's a team in or out. So if there's a team out, you can go in. If the sign is on in, you're not allowed to come in. So I'm about to switch it because we're about to go in it. That's it. It's on. Let's do it. All right, let's read it really quick. Small size of the passage ahead will not permit teams to pass. Exiting divers have priority. A team is currently in. So we're going in.
So that nobody else can go in.
Team behind us, they have to wait.
Okay.
And that's what happened with Benjamin. He tried it once before, and when he got to the sign, imagine doing that swim for like 45 minutes, and by the time you get to the sign, it says there's a team in. You're like, oh.
Right. That's just a total pain. This looks awesome, by the way. I
We're
just want to say already.
We're just getting started.
I love these kind of passages.
Yeah. So the bottom of this passage is mud or like clay or whatever. So we're trying not to touch it. So I'm staying up high.
Yeah.
But everything else is rock, so you can pull and glide basically. There's flow here. There's flow
inside of there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Are you grabbing the sides? I can't really tell.
Sides, roof, like whatever I can just
to help you get through the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can see I'm not kicking to be able to move that fast, so I'm pulling.
Yeah.
But I'm staying off the bottom.
But the flow would help with any silt that you kicked up.
Yeah, if you kick up some silt, then it will get washed.
Oh, I see now. That's the first time I could see your hand. So yeah, you're.
Yeah, I am pulling. We're both pulling. Ben is diving LP85, so his tanks are bigger.
He does dive those a lot, those bigger ones.
Low pressure 85s.
I would be diving 280s. That's what I normally dive.
Dude, it's tight for 280s. You can do it. But
I mean, he's diving LP85, so
it will get. This is big, right here. You can turn around, so that's good. So in this one, I try to go in. I'm sad the Ben looked away for a second, but I tried to go in and I failed. So I had to kind of re-angle myself and like think about it for a second. Like, okay, how do I approach this hole?
By the way, the video lighting is very
pretty good, right?
Good.
Yeah.
What's he using?
I don't know.
It's a good camera. I mean, that's really
so
clear.
I'm here thinking, it's like, okay, I think I have to go sideways. So let me try this.
Boom.
Yeah. So you can see, starts to get sporty, as Mike will call it. But super fun. Like,
looks
awesome. Yeah. So Benjamin tried to keep up with me and he got stuck. So if Benjamin gets stuck, you know how this is. So he's like, I'm stuck. So anyway, he eventually makes it through. And what you get now is uninterrupted view of what Rocky Horror looks like.
Sorry, that was tangled in me.
Hell, what's tangled? But this is what Rocky Horror looks like, so you can picture yourself going through this.
I would love this.
Yeah, watch this.
is
And for you
awesome.
watching, imagine being underwater and going through this hole.
Clink, clink.
I mean, look at it. It's just like a
It's cool. That's really
rabbit
cool.
hole. Yeah.
How long is this part?
I mean, I wish I had timed it. I would say between 5 and 10 minutes. Of
So
this.
foot wise, 5 minutes. You're probably going 20
No.
foot a minute at the max.
Yeah, it's probably like
So
100 to 200
100
feet.
feet,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not a lot, but you're not making fast
is
progress.
it a circle, or do you
No,
turn
no,
around and
you-
come right back out the same?
No,
way?
no, no. You pop out and the cave just blows up big again.
Wow.
Yeah. So you go from big cave to this, and then big cave again.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can see I'm still making progress there. And to be fair, like here I am. Well, swimming is a big of a word, but here I am pulling or whatever through this hole. And all I'm thinking is if I had to bail out here, it would suck. And I was thinking it's like, how do I know how far I am where it makes sense to bail out and keep going in to then turn around in the big cave and be able to come this way? Because turning around here, I mean, you see, there's no room. You can't turn around. So
Nope,
now I
that's where
know.
you have to be really calm, and you
Yeah.
you may have to take that right tank off to get wiggle around
Yeah, or just keep going all the way to the end,
if you can.
turn
If-
around,
if you
and
can,
then
yeah.
go in. Yeah. Go back in. the
But
other
I mean, Ben is getting through there with 85s on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can do it with 80s. It's just going to be a lot of clink, clink, clank, cling, you know, as you're swimming through that.
That
Like
looks
there's,
nice.
you see, there's a space right there that you could potentially turn around if you had to. But for the most part, it's just human body size in all the way. There's a plaque in there too, like a memorial plaque.
boy, the flow is heavy in there. You can see it blowing heavy.
Yeah. But I like
So
it
far,
because
Woody's room though
Woody's room is way
is
tighter.
way tighter and
serious.
way less visibility.
Look, we made it out.
Good.
Yeah.
There it is, the back of it. Nice.
Yeah. So now we just swim in. So after Rocky Horror Show, we swam in probably like 300 or 400 feet or something like that. Too bad Ben didn't capture this, but there's like a super cool rock with like, I don't know, like 100 layers of different like times where you can see like bright or whatever, like lighter layer followed by darker followed by whatever, you know, those where you can see the age of the rock. Super cool. But this is, well, I said the cave opened massively, but this is about what to expect, which is pretty big. I mean, it's not that small. Yeah. And this is, at some point, it just drops to 100 and something because you're about 60, 70 feet in Rocky Horror, and then it just drops like a chimney.
That's the stage bottles over there.
Yeah, there's a
to the
stage
left?
bottle, but that stage bottle has been there for a long time, man. Like, I don't know who it belongs to, if it was a diver who didn't make it or whatever, but it looks like it's been there for months
Wow.
or years. I don't know. Like, the host looked very sketchy. Like, I wouldn't trust it, you know? So here we're like 100 plus feet. And he does that several times. He goes up and then down again, 100 and something feet up and goes down again. So after a while, I just told Ben, like, let's turn around. I mean, it was over 2.5 hours.
But how far
the dive.
does this keep? Is this big?
I mean, there's
Do you know?
miles and miles and
Oh,
miles
wow.
of cave.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, at Madison Blue. So that was it. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think, and I want to
yeah,
do it.
we
for sure.
should go and do it.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I'll definitely redo the tether exercise for the one more to really slam dunk it.
Well,
Blindfold, your lights out. Your
Ben had an
lights out
idea.
trick.
It's like, what if we do an exercise where there's like 4 of us, 2 and 2, and we're passing each other, okay, in the line, blindfolded. Like, what are the logistics? Like, okay, I'm coming, you're going. Like, what? How do you? It's gonna be a disaster, but it's cool because.
And there would be no standard either, right? Let's say tethering was okay.
Uh-huh.
There's no like, well, you can tether, but you have to be within 5 feet. Some people are going to tether, and their tether's going to be like 50 feet long. Some people are going to be closer, right? So it's going to be a mess of line
Yeah.
everywhere in the cave. Yeah, I mean, it could silt it out. I'm thinking of more reasons why
Yeah.
not to do this, but I'm going to really show
Well,
you.
you got to do it.
Not
For
a
real.
reason not to do it when Woody
Yeah.
blindfolds his way through one.
And if you get tangled and die, it will go viral. So that would be good
Well,
for us.
Yeah, I mean, just send the royalties to the family, but.
And a terrible, terrible comment. I wanted to
Send
remind
all
people.
of those to Gus. I mean,
That's
how it
yes,
is.
for sure. I wanted to remind people that we actually covered Rocky Horror Show in the past by another team of divers, and I'm going to leave the video right here so you can check it out and now get two different perspectives. But a lot of people do it. It's like a bucket list thing for cave divers to get to the point where you can go through Rocky Horror Show for 5 or 10 minutes of that and not lose it.
Yeah, and I scaled up our revenue and worked all weekend. I just wanted to end
thank
with
you.
that. Bye, everybody.